Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play Picky Pixie. It's ages 8 and up, 2 to 5 players, and takes 30 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of the game is to get the most points over the course of the game. There's one round per player playing. We're saying we're playing a 3-player game here. If you're playing 2-player, the only variation is you get to play as the Picky Pixie twice, and for any incorrect guess, the other player puts out another card to give you an additional clue. To start out, whoever is the pixie gets to take 2 cards, and there's front and back, and you get to write down a rule for your pixie because it is a picky eater. And we'll say that it starts off, they look at this and they say, okay, I want it to be an odd number of flowers. They will say yes to. So they have to start out with something on the yes side and something on the no side to start out for their pixie. And we're playing standard rules, and your friend for this game is going to be this reference card that tells you the different types of flowers, the different categories you can use for your guesses, and then it's very specific what it says. You need to start each of your rules with either at least, less than, or even an odd. So even though it is open-ended, it is very specific what you can actually say as your guesses. So then after you pick it and you're supposed to write it down off to the side, then you take turns, the other players take turns picking a card, and they say, okay, from these, are you hungry for this? They might say, they point to the side of the card. And they might pick this because there's a pink and a purple, and there's pink and purple over here, but it's an even number. So they'd say, nope, and you put it over on this side. Then the next person gets to say, okay, well, you could choose to make a guess at this point, or you can just keep on going. And so they'll say, okay, well, we'll do another one. I'm going to ask if they want to eat this side. And they'll say, yes, I do. And so then the players can say, oh, okay, I think I'm seeing a pattern emerging. And then below here, if that player says, okay, I'm ready to make a guess for the rules, the rule for this round, then the 2 players, we're saying this is a 3-player game, the 2 players that are not the Picky Pixie have to write down what they think the rule is simultaneously, and then they reveal it, and they're told if the rule is right or not. So maybe they said it has to be exactly 3 flowers, or it has to have at least, well, that it couldn't be at least 1 purple. So we'll say they didn't get it. They guessed things and they both didn't get it this time. Then you just keep on going. The next person, here, we'll say they put out this one. They say, do you want to eat this? And they say yes. And now they might have a better idea. They say, oh, okay, this is all even, this is all odd. And so the person puts out another card to track, okay, we're ready to make another guess. They write it down, and let's say they both say it's an odd number of flowers. Then the person who is giving the clue reveals that, yes, they got the right answer. And so the people who guessed correctly get the number of cards for their points, the number of cards divided by 2, so there's 9 cards, and then you round down, so they would get 4 points for this round. And the person who was the Picky Pixie would get 2 points per card down here, tracking the number of guesses they got, so they would also get 4 points. And then you just shuffle everything up, and play goes to the next player, and you keep on going till everybody's had a turn, and whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. So that's how to play Picky Pixie. The target demographic for this game is creative gamers. If you like the feeling of, oh, I'm getting to make up my own rules, even though it's within the parameters of the game, then this will be a good fit for you. And every mom that I mentioned the theme of this game to, where I said it's about picky eaters, and said, because we all have picky eaters and nobody wants to play a game with that theme necessarily. It's not really a strong theme, and it doesn't feel like you're dealing with whiny picky eaters when you're playing. So if that is a deterrent to you, don't worry. it's just it's the idea behind the game, but it's not how the game feels when you're playing it. The rule complexity is low, but you're using the reference card a ton when you play, especially at the beginning, just to make sure your rule is correct. So while it is easy, you are constantly referring to the rules, but it's an easy little reference card that you are checking. How competitive is the game? It's medium competitive under standard rules. It can be a little tricky going through, but it's achievable. We had a humdinger of a time when we tried the more advanced variants, and for us, the game was no longer fun because it didn't seem like it was achievable to figure out the rule under those kinds of scenarios. It was too wide of a net of what the rule could be. Maybe just people who are better at mastermind type games would do better at us and be okay. But for us, standard rules was the only way to have success when playing this game. The replay value is high if you are the correct demographic for this game. If you enjoy mastermind type games, if you enjoy the process of getting to make up your own rules, then this would be very good for you. Similar games, if you like this one, it's an Elizabeth Hargrave game, and her other game for Button Shy is Tussie Mussy. We adore Tussie Mussy, and so if you like Elizabeth Hargrave, run out and get that one. And if you just like this kind of like a deduction type game, Deducto is a newer game that we really enjoy, and there's not you don't have to write down a rule or anything like that. It's a little bit easier if you have younger kids. But this is very cute. It's a nice little card game, so it's easy to bring along with you wherever you go. So you should check out Picky Pixie. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time from Game Like a Mother.